of the been carried out in party grassroots elections, as we go to the general elections, all party members be allowed to go without us focusing on resolving any of the few wrangles that are happening in the counties, but that next year, since there is no COVID anymore, and we hope that there'll be no situation that will hold us, that within next year we carry out proper grassroots elections, beginning the polling center, where we will involve every member of the party. So we have recommended the adoption of this rule for the party grassroots elections, and we are urging our members to focus on the general elections rather than the resolving of issues relating to party grassroots structures. For the National Executive Committee, which is the highest organ, this sitting is the sitting that will have carried out those elections. Similar to the other structures, we are proposing that the National Executive Committee structure we are recommending that, similar to what we did with the other structures, there be at this sitting the harmonization of the National Executive Committee, and the proper elections be carried out similarly next year when we carry out the party grassroots elections. So I would want the Executive Director to come and present the agreement of the NEC on the harmonization of the National Executive Committee. Thank you very much. The SG will do it.
Yeah, Your Excellency, in light of that report by the Chair of the Board, which report was also presented to the National Executive Committee yesterday, we have made a proposal that requires ratification of the National Governing Council. And this is the proposal that, in light of the challenges of the past 2 years brought about by the COVID pandemic that made it impossible or difficult to conduct grassroots elections as envisaged and the elections of the national officials as envisaged, it be proposed to the National Governing Council to defer elections of national officials to sometime next year, and that harmonization be done to fill existing vacancies in the National Executive Committee brought about by national attrition or defection for the time being. That is what was resolved yesterday by NEC, and which requires ratification by this sitting. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
We're using the other one. All the short people should use this one. Now, you have heard the resolution from our SG. Yeah. Is there anything?
Yeah. So I'm being reminded by the party leader to inform the Governing Council of the existing vacancies in the National Executive Committee. There is the position of Vice Chair following the resignation by a member from Taita Taveta. There is the position of National Organizing Secretary. There is the position of Deputy Organizing Secretary that was vacated following resolution of NEC, the Honorable Owen Bayer. There is another Deputy Organizing Secretary after the loss of Honorable Suleiman Dori. There is the position of Secretary of Environment, which is vacant, and the Secretary for Science and Technology, which is also vacant. The proposal yesterday that was adopted by the NEC is that these positions revert to the counties from where the person who vacated that position hailed from. So the position of Vice Chair that was held by Honorable Mwadegu will go to Taita Taveta County.
Hakuna wa kumpinga, akikubariki, hakuna wa kunyang'anya, akikuahidi, wakati yatimiza, anavyokuita.
So the proposal yesterday by the National Executive Committee was to fill that vacancy by the Honorable Mwadegu exiting. We replace him with Honorable Mwaruma, who's the Senator for Taita Taveta. The National Organizing Secretary, who was from Garissa County, be replaced by Ahmed Abdisalan Ibrahim from Garissa, who is here, the only member of the MPS from Wajir. Sorry about that. The Deputy Organizing Secretary that was held by Honorable Owen Bayer be replaced by Honorable Ken Chonga. The position that was held as Deputy Organizing Secretary by the late Dori be held by Honorable Zuleika Hassan from Kwale. We propose that the Secretary for Environment be held by Stella Chepkurui, who is from Kericho County, to replace Ngeni, who is now our Director for Regional Coordination. And lastly, the position for Secretary of Science and Technology, which was held by a member from Nairobi, be replaced by Honorable Paul Ongili Babu Owino from the County of Nairobi. Your Excellency, that is the proposal, and I would invite the Chairman to put the question for a vote. Thank you.
I think there is only one more position that will fill at an appropriate time, the Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs, which has also fallen vacant. But I want to, can I get proposer for the same? Proposer? Yeah, we'll put question on. Pareno, I saw your hand. Then Omar Mwinyi behind you.
I, Judith Pareno, nominated Senator Kajiado County, hereby proposes that the amendments that have just been read be endorsed.
It's actually harmonization.
Harmonization of our neck.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. At least now you have seen me. I, Omar Mwinyi, member for Changamwe and life member for ODM, hereby second the harmonization of the changes that, of course, have taken place right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we have a proposer and a seconder for the filling of the vacant positions in NEC. So we'll ask of a similar opinion say aye. Those with contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Tena ni kiongozi
So I will request the chair of the board again to go through quickly issues of party primaries. Then we'll go to Azimio coalition.
Thank you, Chair. Quickly, in accordance with the rules, I wish on behalf of the NEB to report that the NEB is preparing for the party primaries elections. We have encouraged that members continue to employ the method of consensus so that they can give us single candidates where they are able. We have commissioned the opinion polling and for the period 9th February, when civil servants resigned, and the first week of March, opinion polling is happening. So those of you who are candidates, get busy on your ground so that you can be polled fairly. We have asked the party aspirants, the aspirants who are members or who are officials in the party grassroots structures to resign, and every one of them was expected to resign on 15th February. We have asked all our party grassroots structure officials not to engage in partisan support of candidates during the party primaries, so that the structures are not used in support of some ODM candidates and not other ODM candidates. We have required that any member of the structures who feels they must support one candidate to also resign so that they can support their candidate but not use the party structure to do the campaigns. Last week, we asked our ward chairs to help us to do the mapping of the polling centers we will use when we do universal polling through universal suffrage. What we are doing is amalgamating the different polling centers so that we have about 4 polling centers in every ward. And we have asked that all our aspirants read all the election laws to ensure that they are compliant when we will put up the notice for application. I'd like to indicate that we will be receiving applications beginning on Monday 28th, between Monday 28th and March 10th, and we ask that all aspirants prepare to submit their applications. Applications will be received digitally, and for those who are not able to, we will also receive them manually. We have asked that all aspirants engage transparently, so officials, aspirants are asked to ensure that the payments that are required are paid to the party and not to anybody else. We are asking the NEB, we would like to confirm that the NEB officials and staff do not require any money from any aspirant, so do not attempt to pay anything to any official of the party or official of the NEB. And we would like to remind you that that's an electoral offense, so anybody who attempts to bribe anybody will not be tolerated. We would like to also ask that any party official who engages in using their position to suggest that they can give certificates be reported to the NEB so that they do not abuse their position. And finally, we would like to say that any aspirant whose supporters use violence will be disqualified from participating in the party primaries. Thank you very much.
Tena ni kiongozi wangu ananipenda leo kuliko jana.
Members, we have a plenary. The plenary is going to come shortly. But before that, on Azimio, I just want to give like 3 minutes to Honorable Junet Mohammed just to say a word on it, and then we will move to the next.
wangu ananipenda leo kuliko jana, baraka zake hazikuishi, si kama binadamu.
Asante sana Chairman, incoming President of the Republic of Kenya, our deputy party leaders, delegates, hamjambo, tusalimiane kwa mkono ama hii sio rally. Sasa nimepewa nafasi ya dakika chache ni waeleze kuhusu mambo ya Azimio Coalition Party. Sasa vile mnavyojua, hii mambo ya safari ya Azimio ilianzishwa na baba Raila Amolo Odinga kutoka Nakuru, ikasafiri nchi pali nyingi, wameelekea counties ama sehemu 15, 15 regions. The Azimio traveled to 15 regions from different parts of the country, and that culminated at Kasarani, where our party leader declared his presidential bid and also declared the official launch of Azimio Coalition Movement. Baada ya hapo, mambo ikaendelea. There were many rallies that were conducted all over the country, the last one being at Tononoka grounds, ambayo ilikuwa kubwa sana, na zingine ambazo zilifanyika Kilifi County na Kwale County na Taita Taveta County. Now, I want to share with you that I want first to thank the party, the ODM party, its officials, led by the chairman and secretary general and the party leader, that they have supported the Azimio movement in many ways. I don't want to mention here, but the ODM party has been a serious supporter of the Azimio movement. So now, going forward, Azimio Coalition is going to be the next frontier for the next election. And that's where we are going to end up as a party, as a coalition. And the movement now is being supported by over 10 parties. Over 10 parties have subscribed to the movement as we are speaking today. And tomorrow in the National Delegates Conference of Jubilee and ODM, they were supposed to sign membership, but now it has been agreed that we are going to have a serious launch of the Azimio Coalition in 2 weeks' time, God willing, where all parties that subscribe to Azimio will be invited. Now I want to request the delegates today that as the NEC has approved and the Central Management Committee, the National Governing Council to also approve that ODM becomes an anchor member with Jubilee, our founder members with Jubilee of the Azimio Coalition Movement. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
Why are you doing this? There are other people here. We shouldn't be revealing our domestic affairs. It's embarrassing, Dad.
Really?
How can you be so damn malicious, huh? Jack was busy with work. Why is it such a big deal that he didn't come back home? Why did you tell on him?
Mom, I didn't.
Jack is a bad guy. He always bullies Pinky. You're right to fire him.
What nonsense is this?
I heard your father's rival, the president of that Hongzhong group, want you to be their manager.
You're pretty and well-educated. Many men want you. Why are you pestering Jack when you should be finding your true love?
You've got it all wrong. He also loves me very much.
But he's a married man, all right? Have you no shame proclaiming your love for him?
To all our prospective candidates, are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.